We are today.
Wow. Yeah, I was actually asked that yesterday because there's a lot of people in NASCAR right now that are from the Midwest.
Yeah.
Man, I mean, we've got a bunch of guys on our team from the Midwest and a bunch of people that are racers, officials. There's just a ton of people. So what's really cool is after an event, and obviously this is the first time I've experienced it after the Daytona 500, but to have all those people and all those familiar faces from my childhood come up and say congratulations and look how far you've come and things like that, it really means a lot. It does. And man, you know, I got like 160 texts,
Yeah,
right?
I'll bet.
And I haven't had an opportunity to look at one of them, but I was standing there tearing the car down yesterday. Actually, we were putting it back together in the technical inspection area after post-race tech to bring it into the museum, and my father sent me a text, and I haven't even had a chance to read it yet, but you know, it's really cool to just sit back and reflect on it a little bit. And the cool thing about the Daytona 500 in my eyes right now is it doesn't just last a weekend, it doesn't just last 6 months, it lasts a year or a lifetime, and so I'm looking forward to just kind of enjoying it.
I mean, you look at Derek Cope.
Yeah,
that's
right.
still the highlight of his
Sure.
career, you know. And I remember when I came here for the first time in a real race car and sat on the pole, I was like, I know what Danica went through, because it was nothing when I did it. When a female does it, it's the biggest thing ever.
Sure.
But you know what? You're sitting there and you're going, wow, now I got to figure out. They've given me a car strong enough to do this. Now I can't screw this up. And, you know, Angie and I talked about this all week, and we had no doubt. We knew what you were doing. Kind of been here, done this. I was never smart enough to do what you and Jimmy did by just staying back there in the lurches and just working on that car and working on that car. And this was like the cars in the mid-'90s, it looked like. And you know, what we didn't see was a lot of people trying to back up and get those runs like we did. And I think if we keep this package, you'll probably see a lot more of that in the future, which will make it more exciting for our fans.
I don't disagree. And if you sit back and you really look at it, there were some single-car passes. There were some guys that were able to get those huge runs, and they would go 2 or 3 car lengths and get by somebody, but then they would lose that momentum. Once, like you say, the guys get more educated and understand what it is that we need to do with this type of racing again.
Re-educated.
Yeah.
Exactly. I think that it's going to produce some really, really good racing, because when you can get around, just like what Dale did on the last lap, he should not have been able to have done that,
No.
right? And, I mean, I don't know, what was it, 5th or 4th, and shot up there up to next to Biffle. And I think as the guys get smarter and as the teams get smarter, we'll be able to figure this out. You know, yesterday was a handling race. Everybody was working on trying to get their cars fast and yada, yada, yada. But if you wanted to be fast and be able to pass, your car had to handle on the bottom because the guys up top, you know, it's just single file. There's nothing you can do.
Since they paved the track, up until now, the track hasn't begged for handle. It's losing grip.
Yeah.
It's starting to get some personality, which is fantastic,
Right.
because we talked about it before. The cars were all numb for the first couple of years. You could throw anything you wanted at them and just look for raw speed and don't worry about what it was going to do on lap 15.
Right.
It seems like now, after about 15, 20 laps, you got to start driving these things.
You do, and it's not that they don't handle. It's not that they're, like, you're losing control. What it is your cars typically start to get tight. And as they get tight, you drag the speed out of the race car. The drivers will have to turn the steering wheel a little bit further, and when you turn the steering wheels a little bit further, just like driving in snow, when you turn your front wheels and you just kind of slide forward, well, that's what it does on the racetrack, but that drags speed out of the car. So you really have to make sure you have a car good and free, but it can't be too free.
I was going to say, if you make it mechanically free, then they turn you around with the air.
They're going.
So.
Right.
Well, that's just like what happened to Denny in the 150. So it's tough.
Yeah. The thing that absolutely amazes me about this, you win the biggest race of the year. You're, you know, rightfully so, having all the success today and enjoying it. Dude, Phoenix is like 5 days from now.
Yeah, I know. Oof, goodness.
So how do you keep all that, you know, straight? How do you do that?
Well, we got to get on a plane and get the heck out of here so I get to work. We're really fortunate, especially with the group of people that we have at Hendrick Motorsports. Robert Deering, who's our shop foreman, and Steve Letard, obviously, crew chief for the 88, and Michael Landis, our team manager. They're in the shop right now getting our race cars and get everything turned around and prepped to go to Phoenix. As soon as we get our guys who are sitting over there eating breakfast, which looks really good, I wish I could get over there with those guys.
We're going to let you go right now. We're going to let you go.
No, I'm just teasing. we're going to hop on a plane. We're going to get back there. We'll work all night tonight and all through tomorrow to get the cars loaded up and get out there. We're really super excited about Phoenix. Jimmy's going to run the nationwide race in a JR Motorsports car.
Wow,
Yeah,
cool.
Yep. So we're looking forward to that, and we're going to be able to hopefully educate ourselves a little bit there because we've been off just a pinch at Phoenix, just a pinch, man. We've been running top tens and running competitive, but we just haven't had the big success. So we're hoping with the new tire that Goodyear's got there, Jimmy can go out there and run the nationwide race, educate himself a little bit, and we can get smarter and hopefully run well in the Cup car.
Another racetrack that's gains personality back.
Slowly.
Yeah.
That track was so amazing there, just because it was just different. The drivers really had to be active, and the guys had to be on top of the setups. And since they paved it, it changed it a little bit. So we're still trying to learn a little bit. But I can tell you this: going there now after winning the Daytona 500, it's definitely going to be a little bit easier.
You have a little zip in your
Little
step,
zip,
right?
You're going to be on our tiptoes.
Before we let you go, talk to the fans. Let them know, because some people are still not really convinced that the new Gen 6 car is going to be, the magic wand for better competition. Kind of talk to everybody about the Gen 6 car, Chad.
Yeah. See, this is where I struggle from time to time. I think that my perception of a good race and some other people's perception of a good race are completely different. I think a good race is good strategy, fast race cars, the fastest car being able to win the race, things of that nature. Some other people think that a good race is wrecking and brimstone and fire and flash and stuff like that. I don't think that's good racing. I think that that's bad racing. I think that's not what we're here to do. So I thought the race yesterday was really, really good. I thought that the racing that we had towards the end of last year, well, actually most of last year, was really good in comparison to what I've seen in the past. Excuse me. But I think this car is beautiful. I think it's... I love the SS. I think it's a great looking car. The other manufacturers have good looking cars as well. I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be a really good season. The cars have a lot of downforce. Once we get to the intermediate style racetracks, you're going to see a lot of speed. A lot. When we were testing at Charlotte Motor Speedway, I guess it was last month, right? Yeah, last month.
Yeah.
We were running race laps as fast as the pole speed from the fall. I mean, these cars are fast.
Yeah.
And, buddy, let me tell you something. We get to Fontana, we get to Michigan, you better buckle up because it's going to be moving.
I think some of the downforce tracks, you're going to see more the excitement we see in the truck races because the car looks like it has more side force to it, so it's going to be a little leaning on that air a little bit, which means you can screw a guy up.
Sure.
So I think the fans, you forget Daytona always gets a little bit draggy in the middle of the race because you have to get to the end of the race to race, and I think when you get to the downforce track, you'll see a lot of race and a lot of side-by-side racing.
I'm telling you, I agree with you 100%. I think one of the things that people don't really understand from the outside perspective when they start to look at a truck race or a nationwide race, the level of competition that we have in the Cup Series is so high. The teams are amazing.
Yeah.
The drivers are great. The pit crews are fantastic. The crew chiefs are solid. So you don't have a lot of mistakes. In the truck race or the nationwide race, there's a huge ebb and flow throughout the event because you don't have as good of drivers.
Instead of 10 guys, you got 40 guys over here.
Right, that's kind of my point. And you instead of having 40 good pit crews, you've got 3.
Right.
So if there's a mistake or somebody falls back, man, they're working their way up through there. So we just don't have that in the Cup Series, and that's why we're all in the Cup Series, because we're all good, right? So
that's why it's the best of the best.
That's right. That's exactly right. Exactly right.
So,
again, congratulations, Chaz. Great to see you. Appreciate the time this morning. Good luck in Phoenix, and good luck the rest of the way.
I really appreciate that, and I just want to give a quick shout out to the fans that were unfortunately hurt and injured and took part in all that grief that went on Saturday. Our hearts are with you guys and gals. We know there's some people still hurting just a little bit, but well wishes to you, and once again, thanks to everybody at Hendrick Motorsports for this opportunity.
Well said. That's Chad Knauss. He's a 2-time Daytona 500 winner. We'll hit a break when we come back. 866 Pit